Hi, welcome to the small shed. Today we're off hill climbing. See you in a minute. Now, as part of the Austin 7 Centenary celebrations, this is Wednesday, we're off to Prescott Hill Climb in the Cotswolds, where they've got a display of sevens. They're doing some runs up the hill. I don't think they're timing them, but they're gathering there, if you like. So we're going to go over and have a look. Prescott Hill Climb itself came about in about 1938, I think it was. They'd banned road racing in the UK in 1924. And so the Bugatti Owners Club decided they wanted to get their own venue where they could effectively race uphill, sprint sort of things. And so they purchased the land and built the course there. And it opened, as I say, in 1938. Now I've had connections with it, been going there with Dad and brother for 60 years now or more. So I've got it's another one of these sort of connections with me that resonates with family visits, if you like. When it opened, it was about 800 metres, the hill. And I think the first Bugatti up it ran in about 55 seconds. In 1960, which I can remember them doing, they stuck another couple of hundred metres on a loop up to a very sharp hairpin bend and back down again. And it's interesting, the course record now for what is just over a kilometre is about 34 seconds, I think. So they've pretty much halved the time up the hill in that intervening time. As I say, what we're going to see there is a lot of Austin 7s. Principally, I believe the twin cams are going, both of them. And then they're going to move back to Morton in Marsh to be on display. So that's probably the main reason for going and getting close to them and seeing them in the wild, if you like. Now, Prescott itself, the hill climb, is in a little village in the Cotswolds, and as I said earlier, it was bought by the Bugatti Owners Club in the late 30s, and essentially it's just a twisty, winding road up the hill, but it's one of those rare nowadays motoring events where you can just mingle in amongst all the cars in the paddock and walk around, and as far as motorsport goes, it's far more involving, if you like, than things like Formula 1 now, where you can't get near anything and all you can see is just stuff whizzing past on the track. Here you can almost touch it, smell it, hear it, and experience it in a much more involving manner, if you like, and that's what's always drawn me back to Prescott over the years. The paddock itself is just basically grass areas where people will just take the cars apart, work on them, tinker them, prepare them and get them ready for the track. And how it works is that they drive from that paddock area down onto the start line and then up the hill, and then there's a return road that brings them back in to the car park and paddock area when they've done their run.
Over there.
There are a whole load of sevens gathered for demonstration runs up the hill, significant sevens. They weren't just running anything up there, but they had a whole collection of
cars that had all sorts of different significance throughout the history of the car's production, and they were all gathered in a top area at the top of the paddock, ready to just go up the hill later on.
That is late on at 11 o'clock sharp. Thank you.
Down on the orchard, the other side of the track itself, is where the public parking normally is. We always used to go and picnic in there. It used to be a lot more trees than there are now, but the visiting sevens that had come were also there. So let's just take a run up the hill. As you run out from the paddock, they wait at the bottom of the paddock road until they're pulled up towards the start line, where the timing beams are set, and once they're released from there, they run up past the orchard itself and under what is essentially a footbridge that goes over between the paddock and the orchard area. You then go into orchard, which is a corner that swings around and takes them to a small straight section leading up to Ettores Bend at the top. Very tight hairpin bend. It's quite a technical course, and then there's a short downhill stretch from there where they get a bit of speed on and head up again towards Pardon Hairpin, which is named after Pardon Farm, which is Pardon Hill House is just past the this bend, so that the people themselves get to actually have to come up and down this road to get to their house effectively. It runs on there up to quite a technical bit, which is the S's, where there's a very quick right, left, right, which is it looks quite innocuous, but it's I've seen many a car caught out in that. It's quite a difficult corner or series of corners to get through. From there they go into Rolt, which is named after Tom Rolt, great canal historian and railway man, into the semicircle at the top, where there's quite a nasty drop off the side which looks a lot worse than it really is, round the corner, and then that runs them into the finish line, ready to go back down the little return road down to the car park and paddock again. So the original course used to start down there, run up around here, and then it would curve round all the way up to that top corner there, and then off into the trees, round the circle at the top and out. And they added that bit on in 1960, which extended the length.
Very well indeed. They're very little ropes, although Charlie was 10 years older.
So one of the demonstration runs was the Chummy Ladies, which is a collection of lady members of the Austin 7 Register, who were all either driving their own borrowed or family chummies, and made quite a sight with I think there were about 17 of them went up all together, one after another, in a demonstration run. And once the chummy ladies had gone up the hill, I went and had a look at the three works single seat Austin 7s that were really the main reason I was going to the event on that day. The blue one is the one driven by K. Peter that was a side valve engine car. The other two were twin overhead cam cars that bear little resemblance whatsoever to an Austin 7 in any way, shape or form. I doubt there is one piece that is from an Austin 7 in them. It's a completely different engine, chassis, body obviously, whereas at least the blue one had some basic engine bits from the old Austin 7s. But this is the first time I'd ever seen one with the engine cover off, if you like, up close and personal, and I got to meet with one of the owners, and he'd got a whole load of photographs that I took pictures of that was really useful, and it was nice to see them being used, although the one green single seater was out of action because it got a broken cam belt, I think. But the other one was going, but it did sound a bit hit and miss at times, but it was good just to see them running, which is not something you see very often. They're probably only bought out once or twice a year, so it's quite a rare treat to see them being run.
Hang on to that one, don't lose it. No, I'm proper. Second gear. Don't let the wheels get you.
They're working in the dark, but they managed to make a fair on this little. They never run quite well, but it's been improved since. And it was always an odd show at Donington by arrangement, although it belongs to the trust We're back on air. Just talking about getting something organised for today. But I heard a familiar sound. It sounds like an ERA, but it's not. It's not Bert's car. It's the
I'm always thinking of your poverty. I tell the world I love you, don't forget your promise to me. I have got a house and rent and everything on my team. You are my inspiration, baby. Never do. I put off and check again. There's really only one man. Mighty, mighty, that's you.
And then finally there was, top the afternoon off, they had a run up the hill of essentially significant single-seater and sport sevens, if you like. Went up in procession, and again quite an evocative moment with all those vintage cars going up, all with their own histories and tales to tell. Sort of rounded off the day perfectly, really.
Well, that's another day, and all I can say is wow again. Seeing the twin cam going up the hill at Prescott was pretty good. That was 2 or 3 times it went up, and I stood next to it when it was started up, and it's almost a visceral sort of feeling that you can, the power of the thing. And seeing all the other sevens there on the hill brought again a lot of memories back. It was also quite touching that all the car parking and the programs were supporting Parkinson's, which is a charity that's close to me because both Mum and my brother suffered from Parkinson's as well. So again, it was touching nerves again, which is what I expected the week to do in lots of ways. That was the way I didn't expect it to, but yeah, it's been a really good day. Really enjoyed it. Walked up and down the hill quite a lot. Been much more pleasant weather-wise, although we had a bit of drizzle. It's dried up now, and after the record-breaking temperatures yesterday, it was pleasant to be walking around in, you know, high 20s, mid 20s. So really good day. Hope the video was of interest. Look forward to seeing you next week. We'll be probably again doing something else on the Sevens, and I hope to see you then. Bye!